Patricia, how you doing? So I've got your work up, and this week I'm talking a little bit more about presentation and design, presumably at this point. And you do. You've got a very nice materials list going, so you understand what you're doing. You know what you're doing. You understand the importance of showing your materials and not just talking about them, but proving that you're using sustainable materials. So that's excellent. So what I want to do is talk about presentation. Okay, you've got a typographic error right here, so that in itself would really shoot the credibility of this this presentation immediately. I would say it's safe to say that a lot of portfolio reviewers and hiring professionals, and I'm of course talking about this piece in its final state presented in your final student portfolio. A spelling error is the kiss of death for a graphic designer. So please, really pay attention to that. The logo, the title page looks good, but I would like maybe some sort of introduction. And how do we create branding, Patricia? How do we develop branding? One of the main ways and the most direct ways to develop your branding is to develop a logo. Once you develop the logo, you can borrow the colors, the visual tenor, and the typography from that logo. And you can use it to build your brand. Let me show you what I mean. Get your trade show booth here. Now, is there a logo here, or is there one visual element that you want people to identify your presentation with? Okay? And this per se isn't a logo because, it's using an image in it. And typically we don't use images in logos. We just use vector graphics. My recommendation is to develop, or if that's your logo, that's great. If you want to use an image, that's fine. But the idea is this. If that's your logo, you want to develop the look and feel of your booth and your collateral materials and your giveaway around that logo. Okay? So, protect our planet. Suppose that's your tagline and your grassroots movement. Protect our planet. Okay? So you use that logo and you come over here, and now we don't have that here anywhere. Protect our planet. So this piece right here does not look like it belongs to the same campaign as this piece. All right? Further, you have this piece. When is it time to save our planet? Did you choose tomorrow? Okay, so if this is a collateral card, I don't understand why there's three sides. A card only has two sides, the front and the back. So you can't have two fronts and one back. It just doesn't work like that. So, this is a collateral giveaway, please. So you're trying to describe, what your cause is. All right. So this in the back right here, collateral materials. 3D flyers. Now allowing for amazing special effects, including 3D plot flyers with many virtual layers of depth, animated postcards that can show a full range. Yeah, I don't know how you're going to show an animation on a postcard, on a print piece. So, and 3D, all 3D means is that you can hold it in your hand. It doesn't mean three-dimensional, like you have to use three-dimensional printing processes, or lenticular printing or anything like that. That's not how it works. What happens? Oh, wait a second. What happens is that you have your collateral piece. So let me see something real quick. So basically you're pointing the materials, okay, and sustainable materials. Now, I'm guessing now that this piece is one of those pieces where you turn it and you get a different view. But, and you know what? Let me just do something real quick. Okay, sorry about that. I took a little time out and really just reviewed this. And it's, you are using lenticular printing, and I think that's a pretty good idea. So I apologize for saying that, this doesn't make sense because it doesn't have two sides. I should have prepared myself, before making that comment. Sorry about that. So lenticular printing. Now, there are alternatives to basic regular lenticular printing, which is kind of a really nasty, toxic process. But there are green alternatives. So make sure when you talk about lenticular printing, make sure that you talk about those sustainable, production methods and printing methods for the lenticular printing. So, and then finally, the last thing I wanted to mention is that was an example that I used in class, free parking. I would appreciate it if you didn't use that because, I used it as an example and I kind of recommended, or actually required that students don't use my example, only because, if other students aren't allowed to use it, I think it would stand to reason that all students wouldn't be allowed to use the example. So I'd like you to come up with another way of ensuring that these don't get tossed in the garbage. Okay, and then your giveaway bag. Again, this visual right here, that tree right there, that visual tree right there, it's not used anywhere. So it's not here on your card, it's not here on your booth. So again, we have this branding, these branding inconsistencies. And I think that's what I want you to work on the most, concentrate your efforts on working on solidifying your branding and really getting this visually cohesive as opposed to several different visual approaches to the same project. Okay. All right. So those are my comments. And you know what? I've been sharing this with everyone. I'm going to share it with you. This is Fresh's, presentation, which is just fabulous. So if you want to use this, go ahead and use this, and just to get an idea of where, this project I would consider to be outstanding at this point. So if you want to have an example of what an outstanding project at this point would look like, I recommend, taking a look at Fresh's work. All right. Awesome. Thank you so much, Patricia. Any questions, comments, concerns whatsoever, please don't hesitate to get with me and I'll be able to work with you. Okay. Thank you very much.